Shalom. We're looking at the second book of the law, more correctly known as Shemot. After the reunion of Joseph with his father and brothers, and a few good years have passed, the fortunes of the family of Israel took a turn. Exodus chapter 1 verse 1 says, "And these are the names of the children of Israel, who came to Mizraim with Jacob, each one with his household." Names are important. The Hebrew names have meanings, and the Most High knows all of us by name and by nature, and has a divine purpose outlined for us. The children of Israel, they had good times, and later they had hardships. And so in verse 20, we see where, "So Elohim was good to the midwives, and the people increased and became very numerous. And it came to be, because the midwives feared Elohim, that he provided households for them. We ought to fear the Most High. He will bless us, and he will increase us. He sees the afflictions that his children go through, and will provide for us in our most darkest times." Exodus chapter 2 verse 1 says, "And a man of the house of Levi went and married a daughter of Levi." They married within their tribes in Israel, and Levites were to be a set-apart tribe from which a lawgiver and redeemer would come. Verse 10 says, "And the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son, and she called his name Moshe, because I have drawn him out of the water." So with the birth of Moshe came a ray of light for Israel. He received his name because he was drawn out of the water. Verse 11 actually says, "And in those days it became when Moshe grew." So we see in verse 10, he grew physically in stature. In verse 11, he grew, which is expressing stature in status, increase in status. And as he grew, he became cognizant of the experience of his fellow Hebrews. He saw their suffering, and in his elevated position, he observed their suffering, and it affected his heart. He was distressed about their plight, and it reached him. Further down, we look in verse 24, we see Elohim heard their groanings as well. Elohim remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Yitzhak, and with Jacob. So the Most High, he hears our cries, and he knows what we are going through. He is looking at us, and his heart, and he is focused at us, and he wants to make our situations better. So don't think for a moment that the Most High is not paying attention to Israel. He's set apart. He's not oblivious to our situation. He will come through for us. In chapter 3 verse 6 it says, "How do we know that the Most High is paying attention?" It says, "I am the Elohim of your father, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac, and Elohim of Jacob." Moshe hid his face, for he was afraid to look at Elohim. So the Most High is divine, and Moses had reverence for him, and he approached Moses. He gave Moses the announcement that he's coming through to remove all the distress of the Israelites and remove their oppression. Verse 14 says, "And Elohim said to Moshe, I am that I am. And he said, Thus you shall say to the children of Israel, I am has sent me to you." So he's basically saying, I will be with you in your troubles in Egypt, and I will be with you when you're oppressed by the other nations. I am, just remember, I am the all-powerful. I am the one that all generations will remember because of what I'll be doing for Israel. In chapter 4, it says, "And you shall say to Pharaoh, Thus says Yahuwah the Most High, Israel is my firstborn. Israel is my son." It's a special position to be called a son. Israel is the only begotten of the Most High, and we are in a privileged position as a nation. And the message that Most High sent with Moshe to Pharaoh was, say to them, let my son go to serve me. But if you refuse to let him go, see, I'm killing your son, your firstborn. So Israel is Most High's treasured possession, and the Most High knew that Pharaoh would have a strong resolve. But when he refuses, just tell him, I am the child of the Most High. And that is the situation that we must recognize that we are in. Once we remember that we are the child of the Most High, then we have support and we have defense. We can find redemption. Chapter 5 verse 1 says, thus says Most High, Elohim of Israel, let my people go that they may celebrate a festival to me in the wilderness. He wants to see us. He wants to call us by name. He wants to have fellowship with us. So let us watch and see the salvation of the Most High as he comes through with his strong arm to deliver Israel. Shalom.